Why is it that some people seem to stumble into opportunities constantly, while others never catch a break? You know the type. They're always meeting interesting people at coffee shops, getting invited to exclusive events, landing dream jobs through random conversations. Meanwhile, others work just as hard but somehow remain invisible to life's bigger possibilities. Here's what I discovered after studying hundreds of successful people. It isn't luck. It's a habit, a specific way of moving through the world that literally multiplies the chances life gives you. And today, we're uncovering the single most powerful habit that doesn't just create success, but transforms how opportunities find you. This video is about the intersection of habits and opportunity, but not in the way you might think. We're diving deep into philosophy, psychology, and real-world examples to answer one of humanity's most enduring questions. What do history's great thinkers and today's most successful people have in common? From Aristotle to Steve Jobs, from Marie Curie to Oprah, there's a thread that connects them all. It's not intelligence, though they were smart. It's not just hard work, though they worked hard. It's something more fundamental, more accessible to all of us. Today we're exploring how ancient wisdom meets modern science, and how you can apply this discovery starting today. We love calling successful people lucky. Right place, right time, we say. But let's examine this more closely. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin because he was lucky enough to leave a petri dish uncovered. But here's what we miss. Fleming had been systematically studying bacteria for years. His mind was trained to notice anomalies, and he was working in an environment where such discoveries were possible. Sarah Blakely cut the feet off her pantyhose and turned it into Spanx. Lucky break, right? Except she'd been thinking about women's undergarment problems for months, researching patents, and had already decided to become an entrepreneur. The ancient Greeks had a word for this, serendipity, but they understood it differently than we do. It wasn't random good fortune. It was what happened when a prepared mind met an open opportunity. When curiosity encountered chance, these people weren't luckier. It cultivated a specific relationship with the world that made them more available to possibility. So what is this habit? It's beautifully simple. Curiosity combined with openness. But let me break down why this creates a multiplication effect for opportunities. When you're genuinely curious about people, ideas, and experiences, you automatically put yourself in more situations where opportunities can arise. You ask better questions. You listen more carefully. You notice things others miss. Aristotle called curiosity wonder, the beginning of all wisdom. He believed that those who approach the world with wonder are constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly discovering new paths forward. The Roman philosopher Seneca had a famous saying, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." But there's a crucial part we often miss. You have to be present for the meeting to occur. Modern psychology backs this up. Research shows that curious people build stronger networks because they're genuinely interested in others. They attract mentors because they ask thoughtful questions. They inspire trust because their attention is real, not transactional. Let me tell you about Maya, a graphic designer I know. She was struggling to find clients, feeling stuck. One evening, instead of going home after work, she decided to attend a random lecture about urban beekeeping, something she'd always been curious about but never pursued. During the Q&A, she asked about the visual branding challenges small beekeeping operations face. The lecturer mentioned he knew several beekeepers struggling with exactly that. 3 months later, Maya had launched a specialized design practice for sustainable agriculture businesses. That random lecture wasn't random. Her curiosity led her there, and her openness to connection transformed it into opportunity. Here's where it gets fascinating. This habit doesn't just create opportunities, it multiplies them exponentially. Each new door you walk through opens 3 more doors you couldn't even see before. Picture 2 people graduating college. Person A sticks to their plan, applies only to jobs in their field, networks within their industry, reads only trade publications. Person B is curious. They attend diverse events, read broadly, ask questions across disciplines, say yes to unexpected invitations. Fast forward 5 years. Person A might have climbed their career ladder steadily, but Person B has discovered opportunities that didn't even exist when they graduated. They've met people from different industries who offered collaborations, learned skills that opened new career paths, and developed insights that gave them competitive advantages. Think of it as surface area. The more surface area you're exposed to the world, through curiosity, through openness to experience, the more places opportunity can attach itself to your life. One conversation at a conference leads to a side project. That side project introduces you to a mentor. The mentor connects you to a startup. The startup experience gives you skills for your dream job. None of this was plannable, but all of it was created by the habit of curious openness. The person who says no, who sticks to comfort, who avoids risk, they minimize their surface area. They make themselves smaller targets for possibility. So how do you cultivate this habit? It starts smaller than you think. First, ask more questions than you answer. When someone mentions their work, their hobbies, their challenges, dive deeper. What's the most interesting part of that? What would you change if you could? Real curiosity creates real connection. Second, replace judgment with curiosity. When you encounter something unfamiliar or uncomfortable, pause. Instead of dismissing it, ask, what can I learn here? This single shift transforms obstacles into opportunities. Third, say yes to small, low-risk opportunities. The colleague who invites you to their art show, the neighbor organizing a book club, the random workshop that sounds interesting. These small yeses compound into big possibilities. Fourth, keep learning things outside your comfort zone. Take a pottery class if you're an accountant. Learn about astronomy if you're a teacher. These cross-pollinations often create the most unexpected opportunities. Remember, curiosity isn't an occasional spark. It's a daily practice, a way of being. It's choosing to remain a student of life, regardless of how much expertise you've accumulated. Let's bring this full circle. A habit that multiplies opportunities isn't networking in the traditional sense. It isn't hustling or grinding or optimizing, something much more fundamental and much more human. It's curiosity combined with openness to experience. It's approaching the world with wonder rather than certainty, saying yes to life's unexpected invitations. The world is full of doors, but most remain invisible until you approach them with genuine curiosity. Most opportunities don't announce themselves. They emerge from the spaces between what you know and what you're willing to discover. So here's my challenge for you. The next time life hands you something unexpected, a conversation with a stranger, an invitation to something outside your usual world, a book recommendation that seems random, say yes. Lean in. See where it leads. You might be surprised at just how many opportunities multiply from that one choice. And I'd love to know what's one small yes you said in your life that opened a big door later. Drop your story in the comments below. If this perspective shifted something for you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time, stay curious.